Ah, that's the wrong scene. Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Theo. Hope you're having a good evening, I think it is for you. Lego time, yes. I wasn't originally planning on doing a Lego stream this early in the month, because I only really want to do one per month, right? I don't want to overload my schedule with just, oh man, I want to build Lego, and not leave any room for like the actual games and whatnot. But, at the start of the year, I ordered like 3 Lego sets. 2 of them came in time for January's Lego building stream. And then the 3rd only came this week, so I'm like, I don't want to have the box just sitting there and like staring at me. I want to build it. I want to do the thing. So yes, today the entire box probably isn't going to fit into frame because it's a big one. But let me just move some stuff out of the way so I can put it on the desk. Today we are building the Botanical Collection Tiny Plants, which might seem like an odd choice considering like what I built last time. It was like all like IP stuff. Everything I've built so far, it's either been like Mario, it's been Turtles, or it's been Australia. So why this? Well, I just thought this would be a neat little display piece. Like, they're cute, right? And, like, all of my Lego so far is just stuff that, like, oh yeah, I can put it on the shelf behind me and it looks neat. This, I feel like this is a more adult-oriented set. And it's not, like, it's not really supposed to be a toy. Well, I mean, it sort of is, but it's more of a display piece. And you can, like, I was thinking, oh, I could put this, like, around my living room and whatnot. So I don't have to take care of an actual plant, but I can still brighten up the place a bit. But also, I find from what I've seen around, like the botanicals collection in particular, they're very good about really interesting parts usage. So like, for example, I think the instructions do get into it a bit, and you can probably see some other examples, but just to point out one, this one here, this one, I believe it's called the false shamrock. The leaves of the plant are being represented through like purple butterfly, Lego butterflies. And I find that really interesting, like seeing how they make use of all of these existing parts to try and represent parts of these plants without having a bunch of specialized pieces. And like, they do have some specialized pieces. For example, these leaf elements, they're specifically like for botanical elements. Although they do also get reused for other things. Recently there was a set based on the kingfisher, a type of bird. These leaf elements were recolored in blue to represent some of its feathers. And I love that. It's real interesting to me. Yes. Also, how do I'm gonna turn it this way. It's sideways, but you can see 1 to 3. This is a large enough set. Apparently they're called tiny plants, but these have like more than the last 2 sets I built combined in terms of piece count. But the reason they put it 1 to 3 is like, there's 9 plants here, and they're grouped into 3 sets of 3, and they each have their own separate set of instructions. So if you want, you can like get some friends together and you each take one of the instruction booklets and build your own set of plants, and that's neat. Also, just to demonstrate how large this box is, let me get... Okay, so I've got the box here for the Turtle Beach House, which I believe is the largest Lego set I own so far, and the boxes are about the same thickness. This is me putting it in the corner. Look how much extra space there is. Man. Like, if I eventually do end up getting that the Lego Mario question mark block, which is being retired at like around the middle of the year, so I'm keeping an eye on when it comes back in stock. If I do end up getting that, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna fit that under my camera here. Oh, I almost forgot. I took last weekend off just because I was tired. I'm still a little tired, but not as exhausted as I was last weekend. But I did do some productive stuff. For example, hold on, it gets cut off in OBS. Can I see it in here? Yes. Yes. I made a new emote. I don't know how much use it's going to have, but oh well, new emote. Blah. Okay. So, we have the push tabs. Oh, something I found interesting. We have here, like, it shows 1:1, and like, this is the small pot, and I'm like, holy shit. For a box this big, the plants really are heckin' tiny, huh? But I guess there are 9 of them in the box, so that makes sense. Let's... These never work. There we go. One... There we go. Alright. Let's open her up. I'm probably gonna start with the instructions on, like, in frame, but then if it gets to the point where, like we had with the turtle house, where I just don't have room for it, and then I'll take it off frame. Oh, no paper bags this time. All plastic. Oh man, look at all these. Move those to the side. Like I said, we've got 3 here. We have the... I believe these are the rainforest plants, these are the desert plants, and these are the carnivorous plants. And like, the pots are all the same, but the soil in the pot is like a different color to differentiate them. I'm pretty sure the rainforest ones are supposed to come first. Hold on, I'm looking... Oh ho ho, yeah, rainforest comes first. They're bags 1 and 2. And if you wanna know what had me so excited, okay, the Lego VIP, sure. Okay, we've got some information here from the designer. Thank you. And here we are, the tropical plants. So we're going to be building the false shamrock, the jade plant, and the lace leaf. And this is why I'm excited. You know what this is? Where's bag number 1? Okay. Too many bags here. Okay, bag 1 is open. And this, you know what this is? This is the thing that I've been complaining for a little that I don't have one. This is a brick separator. So, let me grab Cole's house because I mentioned that a few of the things there would be difficult to take apart if I didn't have one of these. So it demonstrates it here, but I'm going to demonstrate it for you. So, the brick separator has 4 different ways of being used. For one, hold on. There's one here. Is this the one that I... Yeah. So you see, here we have a plate stuck on the underneath. And there's no real way, unless you get like your fingernails in between there, there's not a real good way to get it off. Brick separator. You attach it to the top there, and then... Ta-da! Comes right off. Now I just need to get off the brick separator itself. Alright, let's stick that back on. Demonstration complete. You can also like take them off the top like that. Or for tiles, they have a little ridge underneath like that. So you can put it in there, and I don't have good leverage here. It's a bad angle. I'm not making a very good demonstration, but it's supposed to work like that. And then I don't have a good way to demonstrate the last one, but this is supposed to be for pushing out pins and axles for Technic stuff. So I can now properly take apart Lego builds. Let's go. Let's take this. Why are these in the small bag, but these, which are smaller, are in the big bag? Don't fully understand. Okay, so bag 1 are for the two smaller ones, and then bag 2 is for the lace leaf. Unfortunately, the pot builds are like all the same across the 3 sets of plants, so we are going to have to do this basic build 3 different times. Okay, so we start with one of these. Then we gotta remember to actually do it on camera. Oh, speaking of axles, here's an axle. What is... Hey? Oh, there we are. I was like, where the hell is this? Where does this go? Okay. This goes on top there. And then that in there. Not sure why we're using an axle and a Technic pin in here. Oh, because this has Technic holes. What even is this piece? Like, it's obviously something from Lego Technic, but I don't know what the hell it's supposed to represent. We slot it on there. Voila. Plant pot. Is it supposed to go all the way through? I feel like... There we go. It got stuck a little bit. Now you don't have that little gap. We combine a barrel with whatever the hell this is, and that's our pot. Then we use these. Technic pin on one side, stud on the other. Which one? Hold on. Because like it's not entirely... Oh no, is it? Yeah, it is even, it's just there's a weird gap there, I think. And it doesn't tell us which of them we should be putting it in. So I guess any is fine, as long as it's 2 that are opposite each other. It's me saying I don't have anything to show off how the axle connectors work, but now how the pin remover from the brick separator works, and now we're getting all these pins. Are these all the same color? Yes. Okay. Okay. Now, there we go. We have a connection. And then this one, the round jumper plate. It spins! Oh. Ah yes. Step 6, just make the fucking plant. At first glance, Oxalis triangularis could be mistaken for a group of butterflies. So what better way to capture this plant's iconic look than using Lego butterflies in a brand new color? Alright, so this one's actually a botanicals element. It's a like flower stem or something. So put that on, and then we take our 6 butterflies and we stick them onto these. Oh, by the way, last time I did a Lego stream, the video got content ID matched to someone's someone's remix of Dia Dia Docs or some other Mario song. And I'm like, okay, let's not bother with that. And that's why we don't have Mario music right now. That's why we're just listening to my usual BGM. My chatting BGM, rather. And ta-da! A false shamrock. Easy. That's the small one done. So now it's time for medium, the jade plant. And already you can see that the pot is a significantly more complex structure. Stick 2 of these on top. That. Right, 2x4 with studs on side. And then why did they bother using these little textured bricks instead of just regular bricks? Because I'm pretty sure these are just going to be hidden. Why did they make these different colors? I guess it's just to make it easier to see what goes where in terms of the build instructions, maybe. And I'm not making a good job of showing what goes where because I'm covering it all up with my hands. There we go. There's our core for this plant pot. We have a cube. Roll the dice. And now we're building up the sides. So we need to do this 2 times over. Take these. Then these that were for some reason in the separate bag. And these ones, I think? Yes. Them like that. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Probably. Okay, and then whatever the hell these are, they look like they're probably part of like some spaceship and or car build. Cars are another one of the builds that are like in more adult oriented sets. Typically, you can tell which sets are aimed at adults and which are aimed at kids, because the adult ones, I mean, aside from having heckin' 18 plus on the box, the packaging, like, rather than having this like bright and colorful, it's like black background, a little bit of a gradient, and then just the build. These are typically the ones that are more adult oriented. It's not to say that kids can't play with them. It's just, you know, target audience stuff. How does this go on? Where does this connect? Oh, so like that, I think? Just trying to go from like how much is showing on the other side there. Yeah. And we make a very similar structure, except these ones have the little lips to fill in the gaps, I suppose. I'm gonna be doing this 2 more times, so I hope you're ready. Do that, and then these ones. Little curved slopes. And then these little rail pieces. Trying to make sure I stick my hands out for... Oh, my tea. Good, it's still warm. That's the problem with these Lego building streams. I'm constantly doing stuff with my hands, so like... I don't have time to like... take a moment to like grab my tea and take a sip. Ta-da! And these get attached on here. That's why the lips are there, to like cover up those corners. There we go. Then we just like this. Yeah. We have a pot! Yay! Now we build the actual plant. Out of this, we've got a long ass bar piece. And then one of these over the top of it. Oh, a lot gets built very quickly here. And these modified bricks with studs on all sides. We gotta make them diagonal. Oh man, that's different. Then we take these and we stick them. I'll put the studs on first. Make 8 of these. Brown little... I don't know what they're supposed to be. I've been calling them frying pan pieces. That's just what they look like to me. I'll put the actual leaves on after I stick them onto the structure. And then one more, and then I've got one as a spare. Stick it in. There we go. And then the top one. Hold on. Okay, back to this. Stick them all in. And then we attach the leaves, which are in fact... I don't have any minifigures I can show this off with because my only minifigures are heckin'... my only minifigures have square heads instead of regular round minifigure heads. But the leaves are actually little hats. Little flat caps. They go... Okay, the brim goes inwards, I think. Yeah, that makes sense. Put him on. Put him on. So I guess if I get any regular minifigures with non-square heads, I'll have plenty of hats to give them. Like, this is what I meant when I was talking about how there's very interesting parts usage in these sets. Okay, slot that in there. One goes on top, and the others go into the clip, which I know it's a legal connection, but it feels weird. Trying to get them all sit properly. There we go. Good enough. And there we go. And then this goes into the plant pot. Ta-da! The jade plant. It looks better in real life. My camera washes all the colors out. Let me read this. Extra, extra, read all about it. Flat cap in a new color. To replicate the thick leaves of the jade plant, we used 8 Lego flat caps, first seen in the Newspaper Kid collectible minifigure. Yeah, for some reason Lego's got fucking minifigure blind boxes. You're never gonna see me buying those. These are the pieces that were left over from the first bag. Time for the last tropical plant, which means we need bag 2. Here it comes! And of course we have a bag within a bag. There we go. Come on. Okay, so we start with the pot, which is, from what I hear, the big pots are actually very complicated on the inside, so we'll see how this goes. Oh, we're already... bunch of clips. Interesting. Put them like so. You know what I need? Like, you've got websites like how long to beat this specific video game or whatever. What I need is like how long to build. How long do these Lego sets take to build, so I can plan out how many of these I should be getting for a stream. Because like this has like more parts altogether than the 2 I built in the previous stream, but this feels like it's going a lot faster. Like we're half an hour in and we're already on the last plant of the first set. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how long this stream is. Oh boy. This looks like it's going to be complicated. But hey, at least I'm learning new building techniques. Don't know whether they're actually going to be possible for me to use in frickin' stud.io, because I've been I posted yesterday, I've been trying to like recreate my room in Lego. Sometimes it just doesn't let me place pieces where I want to place them. It just doesn't want to cooperate. Axel. Oh, there we go. In it goes. Let me take one of these. I assume this is the actual, like, the dirt of the pot. Oh, this one. Look. We got a little ladybug. This actually originated from a Lego Ideas set, the insect collection, which originally, the proposal on Lego Ideas, it was like 5 builds of different insects. What Lego ultimately released was 3 of the insects, and then the other 2 had been shrunken down to be more in proportion. So instead of a big brick-build ladybug, we just got this little tile that they've then now later used with this set. So I guess anyone who really wanted the ladybug probably wasn't happy about that. Oh boy, look at that. We are getting complicated pretty fast. So this is like how we're getting like angled builds. Okay. Got this. Slope piece. Because you know Lego doesn't like to go at an angle. Okay, and then we need this claw piece going through here. We need to make three more of these. Not the leaves, just the little things. Because the leaves, they're basically the same piece, just one has a big old leaf attached to it. Sift them through a bunch of small green pieces to find the right small green piece. Where are these? Okay, there's one slope. There's 2 slopes. I don't think these are technically categorized as slopes. They're arches? I don't know what these would be called. Either way, they're all connected now. Now we add in the other claws. In it goes. In it goes. There we go. Then these attach to these parts of whatever that is. Life ring? I don't know what that piece is supposed to represent. But by doing that, it allows us to get these at an angle, rather than having them straight down. There we go. Doesn't look much like a plant pot just yet, but don't you worry. Soon that shall be fixed. Okay, so we need to do this 4 times. Take these, and then slot 4 of the curved slopes on each of them. 2 by 2 curved slopes. feel like they're not supposed to be making that noise when I connect them, but oh well. They're still getting connected. A little clunk clunk. And then we turn them over and add these pieces, which not sure what they were originally used for. They kind of look like a riot shield to me, but what we really need them for is this, so that we can put them at an angle. Oh, there's the other two. It's like, where are they? Oh no. Have I dropped them? No, it's fine. We're all good. Then these attached to these little clips that we put down there before. In order to make this nice angled build. Instead of just having the pot be straight up and down. You know, I wasn't sure how I felt about these little things like sticking out, but in person I think it looks a bit better. Instead of seeing it on video. Right, next, the actual top of the pot. Take one of these, put this on it. And then we put this on top of a bunch of these. Not sure how I feel about the fact that I'm gonna have to do this another 2 times. Here I was saying like, oh man, but we're going real fast. No, the first 3, because of these pots and stuff, the first 3 plants are probably gonna take us an hour. So all 3 together will make it a normal length stream. And then, oh, more of the frying pans. There's probably an actual frying pan element that isn't these, but I don't know what these are supposed to be. What is this being used for? Like, I can't even in my... Like, I'm thinking about how the final build looks, and I'm like, what's gonna connect onto this? How is this... Why do we need to put these here? Like, now we're covering these up with the... No, outwards. Further out. Like that. And there they are. There we go. We have an octagon. Okay, next we need to take these. Then add a plate to each of them so that they become uniform thickness. And then more curved slopes. Everybody loves curved slopes. It is interesting to me that like these it's the Lego tiny plants, but majority of the build is actually the pots that the plants go into. This isn't necessarily the case for the other Lego Botanicals sets, but the one that I've been looking at, which is a similar thing to this, but instead of like instead of specifically like, oh, it's just plants that are small, it's like specifically succulents. Like that one, all of the pots for that one are exactly the same. So, you know. Clearly, I just like building the same thing over and over again, it seems. Now, is that attached? Yeah. Sticking up a little. It's a bit difficult to see from this angle. Admittedly. Because, you know, I don't want to lean right over and get a closer look at the page when the camera's right there. Okay, we have this. So I guess we're gonna stick things on here to like connect these. Alright. These bricks with a jumper start on the side, which we stick a thing on the bottom of each of them. A 1x2 plate. And this is why we got the brick separator, because if we ever want to take these apart, this is not going to be coming off without a brick separator. And then we stick a tile on the top of each of these. There we go. And then these connect through this hole onto here. Create a nice smooth curve. As smooth as you can get with Lego pieces. There we go, we have a circle. Then we just attach these on top. Like this, right? Yeah. There we go. Then this. Okay, so the flat edges go align with the corners. There we go. We have our pot. Now we can... Oh wait, no. We've still got to put some dirt in the pot. Now what does that say? Lace leaves are susceptible to pests like aphids and spider mites, so having a hungry ladybug in the pot is a good way to keep your plant healthy. So that's why they included it. Okay. I was wondering, like, why does this plant get the ladybug rather than any of the others? The others don't have any bugs in there. But I guess there actually was a reason. Hold on. How do I... Where do these go? If I angle this right. This one goes on here. And this goes right next to it. Gotta be careful not to shatter the pot. And this one, is this going... Yeah, this is going over, like that. And then we stick a little ladybug in here. Cute. Okay. Time to build the actual plant. Oh boy, look at this. We've got Lego bar pieces all over the place. These are apparently carrot stems, from what I've heard. From the one... Oh, look! These are fucking Lego lightsaber hilts! Recolored in green. See, if I shove this in here... Vroom, vroom. the leaf saber. Man. It is still really cool how they how they get about like reusing these parts. At least I think it's a lightsaber hilt. It looks like one. And it has the stud connectors on both sides. I'm pretty sure only the lightsabers have that. To my memory, at least. Stick that on there. And then another lightsaber on top. Actually, it's similar to the lightsabers. I don't think it's actually a lightsaber though. Because like, I'm pretty sure the lightsabers, the two ends are different. But on this side it looks like they're the same. Regardless, we stick this in the pot. Like so. Then we want a smaller one. Another of these. I guess this is why they use the green ones for like the curved parts of the pots, because like it doesn't matter what color they are inside, but like if we're including these pieces anyway, might as well just make them all the same color so people don't get confused for which ones they should be using. We got stalks. Oh, and now we gotta make the small one, the one that's still growing. So these, yeah, it's only this one. Where's our last lightsaber? I think it's probably not a lightsaber, but I'm still gonna call it that. And then we have these little things that make it go at an angle. I'm pretty sure I used these when I was trying to make a Lego ball orb. Didn't really work out. But oh well. Stick this on here. And we put this little claw element in there for the still growing plant. Ta-da! Little flower. Okay, so 2 leaves. Then on the bottom we want one of these angled connectors. Look at me speaking like I know what's what. I don't. But I can act like I do. And this goes... Oh, we need to make 2 of these. I haven't been keeping track of whether all the stuff I'm doing is actually on camera or not, so I hope it's been on camera. And I haven't just been awkwardly building off screen and then putting the finished product on the screen. And these go into here. Which a little awkward to get in there, but it's fine. It's fine. There we go, we have our leaves. Now we gotta make the actual flower, which, as it says in the top corner, if I can get it on screen, to capture the iconic ridged flower of the lace leaf, we used Lego clamshell elements in a new color. That being these. It is interesting what they can reuse and use in new ways and whatnot to represent all this stuff. These are crooked as hell. There we go. Turn a little bit. There we go. And then we want one of these. Oh, we have to make this twice, okay. Ah, that's why the clips are there, because we want to put the little horn pieces in there. Obviously it's representing something on the plant itself. I've only ever seen the plant in that one image at the right at the start of the booklet. So I don't know what exactly it's representing. Thank you for the reminder, Sphere. I finished my tea. Big stretch. I'm sitting on the bloody edge of my... So I mentioned... I tweeted it out yesterday. I was working on, like, recreating my room in Lego, and then I realized, like, oh... My minifigure can't even sit in the bloody chair because her hair gets in the way. And then I realized, oh, like, I'll just make her sit on the edge of the chair, you know, that's fine. She doesn't need to have her back against it. And I'm realizing that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I don't have my back against the edge of the chair. I'm sitting in around, like, the middle of it. So, you know, it's accurate. It's accurate. Now we want these connectors. Slot it in there. Is that going at the right angle? That is going at the right angle. Like so. Not that one. These. There we go. And one here. And then, on this side, we stack up a bunch of these. How many of that is that? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 each then. And these are like the flower parts. I don't know what they're called. We stack a bunch up like so, and then shove them in there. One, 2, 3, 4. Stick that in there, and then we... This one's backwards. We attach these to the little lightsabers. These are surprisingly sturdy. There we go. We have our lace leaf. That's book 1 completed. And a few more leftover elements from the lace leaf. Let me just put these over here. Little flower trying to get away from me. So we have the false shamrock, the jade plant, and the lace leaf. And again, I'm realizing that a top-down view is absolutely dog shit for Lego building because you can't see the actual finished builds properly. But it's fine, it's fine. Alright, let me just put these off to the side. Go there, put it away later. Now what comes next? Oh, apparently the desert plants are last, so we're making the carnivorous plants next, which also have a bunch of really interesting parts usage. So we're going to be making the Venus flytrap, the red sundew, and the yellow pitcher plant. Carnivorous plants. Oh boy. Okay, I need to move these. They're getting in the way of the instruction booklet. Alright, bag 3. Who's ready to make the same pots again? I am. There we go. Alright, so we start with the barrel and the thing. The red, was it red in the previous one? I think it was. And as you can see, we've now got the dark tan elements instead of the brown ones for the dirt in the pot. Where is the axle? Axle? There it is. Doesn't want to go fully in. There we go. Left an impression on my thumb. There we go. And we just stick these two in there so that we can attach our dirt. Hello Yuhei, welcome, welcome. Is the Lego building going? It's good. We just finished the first set of 3 plants, the rainforest plants here. And we're now working on the carnivorous plants. It's very nice. I'm looking forward to displaying these around my apartment. I've also been having a bit of fun rambling about the interesting parts usage of these. For example, the leaves in this one are actually butterflies. They really know how to make good use of their existing molds to create new things. Oh, what do we got here? Trivia. The Venus flytrap has sensor hairs around its 2 leaves that trigger its traps. When an insect touches the hairs, it causes the jaws to close and capture the prey inside. Alright, we're starting with the... I guess the Venus flytrap is the smallest out of these 3. For some reason, I always imagine Venus flytraps being much larger. But I guess they're not. Because, I mean, flies are pretty small. Right, so we'll start with these tan jumper plates. These go on here. And we have some actual botanical elements. We did have some botanical elements in the previous one with the leaves on the lace leaf, but now we're getting some ferns here. I've seen quite a few sets that, like, rather than just using the ferns as actual ferns, they, like, turn them upside down and build, like, a pine tree out of them. Which is interesting. There we go. Okay, we need these claw pieces, which for some reason are in red. I don't know why. Do Venus flytraps have, like, red stalks? Now we gotta build these. But what's that? Is that an interesting parts usage I see? Does this piece used for the jaws of the Venus flytrap remind you of anything? This element was originally designed as icing for a cake. It's these, by the way. This is the first time it has been used in lime green. I love learning about these things. Because I'm like, oh yeah, they got these really interesting parts usage, and then if I can learn from these, then it'll make it easier for me to do my own little builds and stuff. Of learning, like, what parts, you know, we can reuse for other things. Also, we got the heckin' Among Us piece. They're not actually Among Us pieces, but they look like it. All you need is, like, a stud on there for like the eye, and voila. Among Us. Alright, so we put this inside the cake frosting. I don't know how they expect us to get that out. Oh, there's a hole in there, so yeah, we can use the The pin remover. It's for more than just pins. You can jam it in there to... Never mind, it's not long enough. But you can use the bar piece. Voila. It is not stuck forever. There was one Lego Star Wars piece, not piece, build, that people were concerned about because it seemed like with the way it was being constructed, there wouldn't be any way to take it apart. At least not without potentially damaging the pieces. But apparently Lego was like, yeah, we had to make this build a lot more sturdy. So it is much more difficult to take apart. Oh wait, you're not supposed to have all of them on there. But it is actually possible. And so they put up a video of them not only building it, but also showing how to take it apart safely without damaging the pieces. There we go. So now we add the Among Us's. What is the plural of Among Us? Okay, and then these we attach to here. Voila! Is that? Yeah, that's the end of it. We have our little Venus flytrap. And they can't actually close. But you know, it's the thought that counts. So far, every plant that we've built has had some sort of interesting piece usage. So we have the cake frosting here for the Venus flytrap. We have the butterflies for the false shamrock. Have the flat caps for the jade plant. And then we had the clamshells for the lace leaf. I wonder if all of them have something interesting like that. Because I think at least one of the desert plants... No, I think two of the desert plants don't, actually. But I know the carnivorous plants do, so we're still going to have plenty of these piece trivia going on here. Alright. Let's zoom our way through the plant pot. This is the second time we're building one of these. I'm gonna have to do one more after this. On it goes. Still don't know why they bothered to use these curved bricks instead of just a regular black brick, but sure. Oh, that's interesting. The carnivorous plants, instead of using green ones of these on the inside, they're using red. I'm not tripping on it. The rainforest ones had green instead of... Oh yeah! So all the internal parts that were green on the rainforest plants are red on the carnivorous plants. That is odd. I mean, I'm not against it, I'm just a little confused as to why they bothered. Because these are like internal parts. You're not gonna see them. Would it not be easier to just pack a bunch of the same colors in the set? I don't know how this works. I don't work at a Lego packing facility. Why is it not connecting? Are these not properly aligned? Come on. There we go. Bit of a click out of that, hopefully. I didn't break anything. Alright. Now we gotta make ourselves the side of the plant pot. And these go up other way around. These go on the red side. Like so. I forgot about this piece. There we go. Very oddly bare plant pot there. Just showing the internal mechanisms. Remember to keep my arms outstretched so that I'm building more towards the middle of the screen and not down here in the corner. Okay, now other side. Wonderful. And now we do the same but with the little ridges. Had a mind blank there for some reason. Not sure what happened there, but it's fine. And voila. There's another side. Now one more. Shove that on, and there we go. Oh, not quite complete yet. We still need to put the rim on the pot. Like so. There we go. Is that trivia I see in the top corner? We don't have math interludes this time, we have plant trivia. This carnivorous plant uses thousands of tiny hairs, each tipped with a bead of sticky liquid, to trap its prey. Once the insect is stuck to the leaves, they will curl inwards around the unsuspecting little bug. Oh dear. Alright, so we got a fucking coat rack here, and a round jumper plate on top of that. Right, side build time. One of these with one of these on top of it. Is that aligned correctly? Yes. Then we stick one of these through it. And then... oh yeah, they all have holes. I say they all, there's only... like, there's the one and then there's the spare. And now, would you look at that? More interesting piece usage. It's fucking hairbrushes. What is that? Oh, it's got the Lego branding on it. I don't know if you can see that. My camera won't focus, it has writing on there. And yes, we're using hairbrushes to make this plant. At least when I end up getting some more minifigs, I'll have plenty of minifigure elements for them if they want. If I want to use it for them. Next, we got these, which I'm actually going to grab one of my minifigures to show you what these are. Because apparently the instruction booklet isn't going to say it this time. Okay. Everyone welcome Mr. Drowned. These, I believe it's pronounced epaulet, or whatever, and they go like this. It's like the fancy little shoulder things. That's what these are originally for, but now we're going to use them to make a flower. Going to do that by putting 3 of them together here upside down, and then topping it with one of these. There we go, we have the top of the flower. And these go in between the things. Now for all of these we stick a clip on a hollow stud. And then put a brush inside the clip. Like so. And these are going to be shoved onto the... It's not actually a coat rack, it just looked like one to me, so I'm like, yeah, let's just call that a coat rack piece. I don't know if all of these pieces have official names or whatnot, but there are some like commonly accepted names for some of them. And because of the hollow stud, we can shove these onto the bars of the coat rack. Like so. This one. I hope listening to the same song over and over isn't getting tiring. I just don't trust putting heckin' video game music anymore because now I know YouTube's just gonna match it to heckin' remixes. Oh, there's some more trivia. Pink epaulettes make the leaves of the sundew flower a first in this color. If you happen to have a Captain Redbeard minifigure, you could turn him into Captain Pinkbeard. And then also on this side, could it be? Are these actually little? Yes, these are actually little Lego hairbrushes. Though notably, all the other times they're like, ah yes, this is the first time we've had flat caps in dark green. This is the first time we've had this piece in this color. They did not mention it for these hairbrushes, so I guess hairbrushes have appeared in this color before. Interesting. And very few leftover pieces this time. Just these. But now, bag 4. Time for the complicated pot again. You may already be able to see some interesting parts here, but we'll get to them when the build gets to them. Oh yeah, it's even got these in red instead of green. I still wonder why they decided to make the internal parts different colors like that. Okay, start with this. Then we need these. Then we shove these on top. I'm not slowly going through these. It's like, we've already made one of these. We're gonna have to make one more after this. So no point slowly going through the instructions every time. There it goes. And red Technic axle. Hey? This isn't... Do we have a... Oh yeah, because these are going to be the dirt. Okay, never mind. I'm like, why is that a dark brown? The carnivorous plants don't have dark brown dirt. They have dark tan. But no, it's because these are the dirt. for the big pots. Right. Oh, and instead of... Oh no, we did have white clips last time, never mind. Ah! Piece trying to roll away. So I wonder what colour the internal parts for the desert pots are gonna be. Maybe yellow? That works for a desert, right? This. And one more. Then I also need to put the claws on them. In go the claws! So that we can get some nice angled sections. Ah. There it is. It's hiding underneath the black thing. Oh, I better be careful with that. Black parts are very reflective. Ah. Okay, then we attach them to these. That about right? That's about right. Alright, time for the heckin' riot shields. 2, 3, 4. Riot shield. 1, 2, 3, 4. Riot shield. I don't know what those pieces are supposed to be for. They just look like riot shields to me. Even though with the angle the handles out, I don't think they'd really work well as a minifigure shield. Something minifigure sized. There we go. And there it is, the last riot shield. Then we shove them into these clips. Some nice angled surfaces. That's upside down. There we go. Okay. Alright, now we're building the top of the pot. Where is... There it is. Like, where is this piece it's talking about? Shove all of these in. And these on top. Then the frying pans. I can see why LEGO recommends, like, oh yeah, you can build this with multiple people. Because going through all of these by myself in a row, it does kind of feel like by the time I get to the third one, it's going to be a little tedious. Just doing the same pot build multiple times. Alright, now we gotta make the side stuff. Shove these on. Ah. Things, pieces going everywhere. That on there. And they're really... The majority of the pieces in that bag are the pot. There's like barely anything left here for the actual plant itself. But I guess that's what you get when you want to build a plant in a pot. Ultimately, the pot is going to be much larger than the plant it contains. And there it is. Curved slope. And then these pieces. One of my acoustic foam. One of my acoustic foam things just fell off the wall. They do that sometimes. I just happened to be looking at it as it fell. There we go. Then we shove them onto the frying pans. Trying to remember to keep everything at the right angle so that y'all can see. Okay, then these go around. This is all that's left over for the actual plant. So much spent on the pot. There we go. Our next pot has been built. Right, so this one we don't need anything fancy. We just put them on the corners of the tiles. Oh, we have trivia. Nothing is more refreshing than a pitcher of digestive enzymes. Okay, Lego. The cups of these plants are filled with digestive juices to break down the unfortunate insects that fall in. Refreshing! Okay, so we take these little pieces, little stem pieces, or whatever they are. And then two of them get this on. And then one of them gets these two connected together. I don't know what these pieces are. They're a bit weird. They don't have regular stud connectors. I guess this is like the thickness of a Lego bar. Then it takes a Lego bar inside as well. A bit odd. Oh ho! Interesting elements alert! These pitcher plants use an explorer helmet in bright spring green for the opening of the pitcher, and a lime green broom for the head of the stalk. There's some very interesting parts usage here. However, the one bit of parts usage that it doesn't mention, it mentions the hat and it mentions the broom. But it does mention these. You know what these are? These are fucking battle droid arms from LEGO Star Wars. Recolored in red to act as the thingy there. Alright, so we gotta do this 4 times. We take the broom, stick an Among Us on it. Upside down Explorer. Which way does the Explorer hat go? One side is... Hold on. Let me look at the box. Okay, the higher lip goes towards this. Towards the Among Us' feet. And then we put a clear stud inside inside the hat, which, I'll be honest, I don't know how we're expected to get out, but who knows. Maybe one day I'll have to figure that out while disassembling this. Then we add another Among Us. There we go. Our little pitcher plant. Wasn't this called the yellow pitcher plant? Hold on. Yeah, this is the yellow pitcher plant. Why is it green? Huh? Yeah, okay. Alright. Gotta do this 3 times. I've got all these heckin' minifig hats now, and the only minifigs I have frickin' square heads. They can't wear these. Another Among Us. This piece will forever be the Among Us piece to me. So I apologize if that joke gets old, but that's what I'm calling it. There we go. Then transparent stud, which I guess is supposed to represent like the digestive juices inside the pitcher. Refreshing. Right, one more. Broom. Among Us. Explorer. Stud. Droid arm. Among Us. And we've got one transparent stud and one heckin' droid arm left over. Right, so we then slot them onto here. Onto these stalks. Ah. Come on. So it's like this. This one goes like... I know the angles don't really matter. But I'm still trying to get them right anyway. Ah! We lost the pitcher. Insert baseball joke here. I don't do sports. And there we go! The yellow pitcher plant that is actually green. We have one last bit of trivia up here. Surprisingly, the leaf that grows above the pitcher cannot move and seal the pitcher. Instead, it prevents rain from entering and diluting the liquid within. Okay. I must be thinking of a different plant then, because I thought it was like a bug like lands on the leaf and then the leaf dips in, like from the weight of the bug and drops it into there. But that must be a different type of plant. But regardless, we have our carnivorous plants completed. with the Venus flytrap, the... What was this one called again? Sunflower or something? Red sundew. The Venus flytrap, the red sundew, and the yellow pitcher plant that is actually not yellow. 3 more plants for the collection. Nice. We have 1 more set of plants to build. Desert plants. And apparently this one is like the most... like, of all the plants itself, it has the most parts. Because for the others, most of the parts are actually for the pots. We're going to be making the Britons Live Forever. That's an interesting name. The Eastern Prickly Pear, and the Pincushion Cactus. Oh, so these are specifically arid plants, but oh well, I'm gonna call them desert plants. So first off, we're gonna be making the Britons Live Forever, which I believe is gonna be the first plant so far without any real interesting piece usage. Because it's mainly just using pieces that are already made for like botanical elements. But we of course have to start with the exact same pot build that we had for the last 2. Oh, so the internals this time are orange. Interesting. I like that because of the parts they chose for the small plants can spin. Not that it really matters. Oh, that's not... Is it all the way in? I think it is. Yeah. You can see there's no gap there, so we know it's all the way in. Now we need the pin connectors. In it goes. And in it goes. And we're using regular tan elements instead of dark tan for these ones. Oh, and this one we're putting one of these on top as well. Interesting. That's different. And we need... Oh, this is a different color. We've seen a bunch of this piece before, but it's in the same like light green that the Explorer hats were in, instead of the darker green that we used for the pitcher plants and the lace leaf. This colourful... Oh, I should hold it up so you can actually see it. This colourful succulent was named after Nathaniel Lord Britton, an American botanist who first categorized the... Oh no! We started dropping frames, but I think we're back to normal. Yeah, we good. We good. We had a momentary dip, but we good now. First categorized the Dudleya genus. I don't freaking know. I was really thinking like, oh man, Britons live forever, but no. The guy was American. His name was just Britain. But we also have thing on the other page to capture the nice to capture a nice gradient of spiky leaves. We added a new color for the 1x1 plate with a tooth, which is these ones. So if you have any Lego animals in your house, you could always give them a lovely light lavender. Give them lovely light lavender teeth. So I guess technically this does have some interesting part usage with the teeth. but the majority of the plant is like, you got this, which it's supposed to be a botanical element with like the leaves on the side. I use it for the freaking takodachi legs. And then we also have these, which are just straight up leaves. It's the takodachi piece. Hold on, let me put it on screen for folks who don't know what I'm talking about. Because I posted the full image of what I was making, but this little one I only posted privately. It's a takodachi. And as you can see, he's got the same little piece there to represent the tentacles. I do wish I had a better piece for the halo though. Having it stick up so far and be so large looks a bit weird. I don't know, might have to have a mess around with that a bit. That is not the right button. There we go. Bye bye taco. Alright, so we need to use takodachi legs, put the lavender teeth, on top of it, straighten them up. Oh, there it is. It was hiding from me. Lavender teeth, then the purple leaves. That's upside down. And that's how we're going to connect it. These little pin things are going to go into the open studs of the leaves. Flip it upside down and put a little blue flower stud into the bottom of that. And then let's do it like this so we can actually see. On it goes. There we go. The Britons live forever. And there we go. That's one down. Time to make the more complicated pots. See how fast we can do it this time. Speed run the pot building. Oh, so for this one the internal like plate was orange, but for this one the internal bricks are yellow. Interesting. I have no idea what goes into the decision-making process for these. It does interest me. At least, you know, we get more of these modified bricks in different colors, which can be useful for other builds later on down the line, if you so desire. I don't know if I'm going to be taking apart mine. Like, I would like to try and make my own builds at some point, but I don't know if I'm gonna want to, like, dismantle the sets I've built in order to get parts for them, instead of just, like, ordering parts specifically for my custom builds. Because, like, Bricklink does allow you to just bulk order, like, parts instead of just looking for complete sets. Also probably doesn't help that, like, a lot of the things I'm building in Studio 2.0, probably there's a bunch of parts there that just don't exist in the color I'm using them in. Here we go. And one more. Zooming through the pot. Like, at the moment, there's like two main things I've been keeping an eye on when it comes to the LEGO store. One is like specific sets that I want to get that are often sold out, and I'm like, if it comes back in stock, even if it's like for back order, I might just have to buy it then and there, just so I can make sure that I get it before it gets discontinued. But I'm also like paying attention to like the gift with purchase stuff, because sometimes the official LEGO store, what they'll do is like they'll have like a little mini set and just be like, hey, if you spend X amount of money in one purchase, then we'll give you this set as a freebie, and that's neat. They've got one going for February that's like a it's like a little Valentine's Day themed thing, which personally I'm not particularly interested in, so I don't feel particularly pressured to like, oh, I need to hurry up and buy something so I can get this gift with purchase. But yeah, I'm keeping an eye on those, because if something comes up that I'm like, oh, that's cool, I want that, then, you know, excuse for me to get some sets that I've been looking at. Oh wait, I didn't put the start on. Interesting that they only give you one of these, because normal... Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe I'm finally a victim of why they provide spares, because I don't see, unless I've dropped it somewhere, I only see one of these. So normally they give you a spare just in case, like, they miss one. So maybe I finally missed one. I mean, I did get one in like a spare one in one of the previous bags, but in this bag there was only one, so that's interesting. Maybe they finally missed one, and it's a good thing they put spares in. Alright, time to make the actual cactus. And so this one, this cactus is like the only one of the builds that only really looks good from one side. Because the others, like, this one's basically the same from all sides. This one, like, it's not the same from all sides, but from the back it still looks fine, you know? This one, because they're specifically working with these printed tiles to show off the spikes of the cactus, it only really looks good from the front. But regardless, let's go ahead and put together this cactus with all these sand green elements. Okay, got that. And then we need the stud. Then two more, not you, the plate, not the tile. Oh man, we got frying pans. We got sand green frying pans. Look at that. I still don't know what they're supposed to be, so I'm just calling them frying pans. They look close enough to frying pans to me. Even though there probably is a proper, like, minifigure frying pan. And we take these little budding parts of the cactus, probably. Complicated little structure internally. Presumably so that you can have the cactus bend in different ways. Oh, I see a tip. I see a trivia bit. Gotta put these parts of the cactus on. Now, what does it say? The round printed 2x2 Lego tiles are in a new sandy green color and feature a fun new spiky deco to capture the look of an eastern prickly pear. Yeah, instead of having a bunch of clever parts usage for this one, they just like, yeah, it's a printed tile with some spikes on it. And then we need to like so. And then there is one clever parts usage here, which you'd say that? No. So these, to my knowledge, are eggshell pieces, but it's been recolored in yellow to serve as the flower of the prickly pear. Also, whatever the hell this is, it's an interesting tile piece, presumably made to be used with flowers and botanical elements. Oh, okay, I'm supposed to put it on first before I stick it in, because if I stick it the whole way, then it doesn't fit on. There we go. And then we just stick it in there. And there we have it, our prickly pear. And as I was saying, from this side it looks pretty good. And then if you then look at it from the back, it looks like crap. That is very shiny. You can see the reflection of my camera in it. But what's that? Is that some trivia I spot? Did you know that the prickly pear fruit is edible? And so are the big green pads. Just be sure to remove the spines before eating. And then we have these pieces left over. But not the tan piece in the base, interestingly. Maybe they only include one spare of each element, even if they're split into separate bags. Oh yeah, because we only got one spare of these, even though it was used in 2 separate bags. So I guess that makes sense. Time for the final bag. The pin cushion cactus. Okay, so this one does have yellow on the inside, so I guess it was just this one that for some reason had orange instead. Oh, we've got 2 smaller bags. Oh man, so much plastic. Put these over here. So much plastic. There we go. The bags are all empty. Alright, time for the big boy, pot. There's the clips. Clips go on. That is not properly connected. There we go. Another one of these. They're doing this in green. I'm pretty sure the other ones didn't use green here, and the only reason they're using green for the internals is because they already had a bunch of these in green specifically for this plant. So they're just like, oh, just reuse it. Don't bother including a separate color. Just make more of the same one. Easy. And I mean, it makes sense. There it is. Interesting that they don't make spares of the axles. I guess these are like heavier than the 1x1 elements. Oh yeah, they are a bit thicker than a bar. I guess that makes some amount of sense. So, there we go. And we take one of these and slot it on top. Oh, and this time these internals are this color. Man, the desert ones just get a bunch of different colors for the internals, huh? One by one, they will all go on. Oh man, look at all those oh, you can't actually see them, they're off out of frame. But we got more Among Us pieces. Okay, and then a claw. In it goes. These two on. Now, I forgot to mention when I was starting the stream, because I just had Lego on the mind, but I was gonna say, like, sorry about, like, not streaming last weekend and then yesterday. Last weekend, it was a long weekend, but I was just exhausted, and, like, I just sort of figured, like, oh man. Oh well, I streamed a whole bunch at the start of January. I can take the last week of January off, I can just rest. It's fine. And then yesterday, I had to, my learner license, I got my L's when it comes to driving, and then I just sort of, I got behind the wheel a couple times and realized, yeah, this isn't gonna work for me. I'm just gonna take public transport. But I still needed my license as like an ID. It expired yesterday. Well, not yesterday. It expired this week, and so I needed to get a new ID yesterday. I mean, not specifically yesterday, but like, heckin', I needed to get it sometime soon, and like, I was working the whole week, so I'm like, yeah, I'll just go on the weekend. Which unfortunately meant I couldn't stream, but it's fine. It's fine. Curve slips. Hopefully we should be back to some amount of normalcy now. And I can just do my usual 2 streams a week again. Probably won't be another LEGO stream until next month. The only reason this one's so early in the month is because I ordered this like at the start of the year, but it didn't arrive until now because I had it back ordered. And I just like, I had it sitting on my shelf and I'm like, I don't want to have the box just sitting there staring at me. I wanna build it. So I'm like, screw it. We're just having the LEGO stream early this month. Alright, time to make the top. Interesting that regardless of what the internals are for the specific set, we still get this little piece in that same color for every single one of them. Yeah. Slot these on. And these in green. There we go. Didn't want to go on. And they go. On they go. And then the frying pans. In brown. Oh, this one gave us a spell. Maybe because there's like so many of these that we need. They gave us 2 spares just in case. I don't know how the Lego packing works. Alright, now we have these 10 elements for the sand in the pot. Alright, now we need to make the side bits. I will say, this is the 3rd set of pots. It did indeed get a little tedious by the end of it. And I'm like, what do I even talk about? This is the same stuff that we did. We've already done this twice. Meanwhile, I'm looking at a set that would require me to make the same pot. Heckin'. Heckin' 9 times over. At least this one has 3 different types of pots, you know? But I mean, the plants look cool though. I want the plants, even if it means the pot builds are a bit tedious. Oh, that was off frame. Gotta remember to keep my hands in frame. I'm looking forward to when summer's over, because if you can see, I've got long sleeves on. You can only really see my fingers in terms of what parts of my hands, what parts of my skin are showing. It's still summer. This is too much. I'm not a fan. Okay. Looking forward to when the weather cools down a bit. I don't have to walk through this heat to get anything. That's the problem with not driving, you know? You have to walk places. And when it's hot, or when it's raining, it's not the best time. And then... we have our 3rd pot. Pot hype. 3rd pot at the heckin' 2-hour mark. Right, time to actually make the cactus. Oh, we got more. We got more of these heckin' modified bricks. Thank you for the redeem sphere. Okay. Back to cactus time. Ah, I've been prickled. I've been pricked by the cactus. Oh no. Okay, we need one of these round ones. Move this down so it's more in frame. The dimensions of these bricks with like studs on the side are so weird. I think they're like... yeah, if I put one more on there to be even, so they're like 1 2/3 bricks tall. Very odd dimensions. Oh man, brackets. Big boy brackets, look at that. And this is how we're getting studs on like all the sides except the bottom. Now we're just making it all green. Oh, and then we need the round plates. Okay. Ah. The bracket doesn't want to stay on. And then add that on top, and another one of these. I can see why they use these in the internals instead of having it in a different color, because there's just a bunch of them, and they're like, yeah, don't bother, just put it all in lime green. Oh, look at all of those. Okay. What am all the exposed studs on the dark tan round plate. Oh no, I did get a spare. I was about to go like, oh, I didn't get a spare of this one either, but I did, in fact. It was just hiding under something. So we do that, and then the light spring green Among Us pieces go in between these. Oh, are these just to make sure that... I don't think we're actually sticking anything onto these. These are just here to make sure that the Among Us pieces stay perfectly aligned. That's interesting. Alright, now we want these claw pieces. Nice little click. I can't get it close to the mic while also being on camera. Lego ASMR. That's probably a genre on YouTube, honestly. I haven't looked it up, but there's probably ASMR Lego building videos. Stick this on here so that the Among Us's don't come apart. This is a very interesting little structure. And now we're gonna make the top of the cactus. We made the internals, now we gotta make the top. Jumper plate, dish piece, these little things. The rounded 1x2 tiles with open studs. We want that in there. Does that puts a little sparkle on there to let you know, like, oh yes, these are the metallic pieces. Not the regular brown, these are the gold metallic ones, even though this is the only color that's even remotely close to that that's in this set. So we don't really need them to show us that. Oh, I should put this back down again so y'all can actually see it. More of these flower. I've got a decent amount of these flower elements. I might actually have one in this color. Hold on. Let me check something real quick. I thought the heckin' the flowers, the anemone flowers from the turtle and dolphin set, or dolphin and turtle, were this color, but no. This color is used, but it's used for like the little flower studs instead of these. These little flowers come in yellow in that set. So this might be a new color for me. Right, and then, oh man, these tiny little openings in the flowers, we're gonna have to stick more flowers into them. That's interesting. That has got to be one of the smallest connectors I've ever seen. Didn't even realize there were connectors that small in Lego. I thought like these little connections that the flowers use, that flowers go onto, those were the smallest, but apparently no. There are in fact smaller ones. Alright, then we want the tree branch elements going in these ones that don't have a flower in them. Very small and fiddly bits here. And then we stick one of these, a flower stem piece, recolored in tan. And then this goes on top of here. Looks almost like a cake. Do we have trivia? Several species of pincushion cactus grow a lovely crown of flowers in vivid colors. Good to know. Interesting. Yeah, so it seems like this one just doesn't have any unique and interesting parts usage compared to the rest of them. It's just a more interesting build because there's so much going on the inside. So we take these 4 dish pieces. Well, this is an interesting technique because they're asking us here to like shove a 1x1 round stud in between the studs of a brick rather than on top of them, which is difficult, but it's possible. I've seen some people claim this is an illegal building technique, which it really isn't, because not only is this build an official LEGO set using them, but if you look on the box, on the branding of the LEGO icon sets, it has it on the fucking box. It's part of the frickin' branding. It is very much not an illegal technique. So I don't know what those people are going on about, but it's definitely not illegal. And if you don't know what illegal building techniques are, they're just like techniques that stress the elements beyond their intended purposes and over time could actually damage or break them. So you'll never see them being used in official LEGO sets, but fan designers often make use of them because they can do unique and interesting things with them. Alright, we got our spiky boys. I'm looking at this pincushion on the box. This pincushion cactus. I always pictured it being a lot larger compared to what it actually is in person. But hey, that's fine. They are tiny plants after all. Why is this not going on? Oh, because I have the piece crooked. That's why. Make sure the piece is the right way around. Come on. Come on. There we go. Got all these on. We have another bit of trivia. After being catalogued for the first time in the late 1920s, Mammillaria crenata F. Zalmaniana was largely unknown until it was rediscovered in 1988 within a specific canyon area in Mexico. Cool beans. Oh, we're supposed to connect this on at this point. Which... Oh, I put these a bit too low. I was about like, how are we supposed to connect that on? The studs are recessed in there, but no. It's because I put these... They're supposed to go up a little higher. Like so. So they cover up this gap in there. Ah. When it goes. It does leave a bit of an open thing at the bottom there, but that's probably going to be covered up by the lip of the plant pot. Come on. There we go. Piece didn't want to go on. There we go, and then which way is it? Okay, yeah, there's the... Oh, it doesn't really matter. I can just turn it around. There we go. It's in the pot, but it's not quite done yet. Because we still need to cover up these little things. And we do that with these little dish pieces. Get a start on the bottom, start on the top, and a spiky. Am I missing some? Because it says do this 4 times, right? I only see one more of these. Have I lost some somewhere? Because I don't... Did I put the wrong piece somewhere? Hold on. Let me just put all these together first, and then all the spare parts I can put off to the side. I should have 2 more spiky things, but I don't see them. Let me check, are they still in the bags? Not under anything? No? I am missing pieces. Well then. It's not under there or something? No. What the heck? Oh. Oh, I found them. They must have like been still in the thing or something, or they fell off the table, or... Oh, maybe they fell off the table when I ran off to go check the thing. They were hidden inside my rug that's underneath my, my chair. It's all good, we're not missing any parts. Oh no! Oh, I fucking bent it. Oh, that's not good. Let's unbend it. There we go. Good as new. No one has to know. Did I bend that with my finger, or did I roll over it with my chair? Either is just as likely. Oh well, you won't even be able to tell once it's in the final build. Eh. Come here, claw. Get on there. See, you can't even tell which one was bent. Oh, and there's all the pieces that were included in this set. Which means we're now done with our desert plants. The Britons live forever. The prickly pear cactus, or whatever it was, and the pincushion cactus. Yay! And we also have all our other plants. Our carnivorous plants, the Venus flytrap, red sundew, and the yellow pitcher plant that is still not yellow. And we have the false shamrock, the jade plant, and the lace leaf. Unfortunately, not a very good way to display them from top down, but such is the way my camera is set up. They look great, right? I'm happy with them. Gonna need to find a place in my living room to display them around. So ultimately, this did go quicker than I thought it would. Oh, also I got a brick separator, I'm happy with that. Let me put the spare parts away. This is why I need a heckin' time to build site. Let me... So I can like tell how long roughly a video of Lego building is going to be. Because this one, like, it had more than like how many pieces were in the previous two sets combined, but it actually took us a shorter time to build, probably because I rushed through the pot building because we had to do it 3 times over. Like, here's all the spare parts we got. We have a nice little printed ladybug tile. This is, oh, aside from the printed cactus parts, this was the only print they gave us in the set. Though this one's an existing print, the cactus one's new. And we also have these little flower elements. Heckin' droid arm in red. Heckin' epaulet. If I ever get any more minifigs. There are some minifigs I've been looking at. Or sets with minifigs, rather. Also, apparently there have been rumors that we're going to get Lego The Legend of Zelda. Which means we might get some Zelda minifigs. And also, apparently, even though like all the Lego Mario sets are being retired, there's rumors that we're still getting a new Lego, like a big adult-focused Lego Mario set, which, like, that doesn't make sense to me, but like, if they're retiring all the old Lego Mario stuff that work with the big scanning toy, maybe we're gonna start getting Mario, like, minifig style stuff, which, if we do, then I'm gonna be all over that. I don't know. I'm just gonna be on the lookout for most of what you're gonna see me build in these Lego building streams. It's either gonna be stuff like this, stuff like the Botanicals collection that are nice little display pieces with a bunch of interesting parts usage, or it's gonna be IP stuff like any Lego Nintendo things, or it's gonna be anything with like turtles or stuff related to Australia. That's basically what you're gonna see me build on these. Or, if I finally get around to designing my own set and then I buy the parts for it and whatnot, then we might do something with that. But for now, this is gonna be it. We're ending about an hour earlier than usual, but I did start a little early. It is a slightly shorter stream, but I can never really anticipate how long these Lego building streams are going to go, because I don't know how long it's going to take for me to build them. You know, the stream just goes until the build is done. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming, no worries, Theo. My next stream, unless something else comes up, like my ID expire, like how my ID expired this week, or last week how I was just completely exhausted. Unless something happens, next stream is going to be, next Saturday, probably. As for what I'm going to be doing, don't really know. I want to say next Sunday is probably going to be another code. So next Saturday is probably going to be another, like an RPG, so either Xenoblade or Path of the Midnight Sun. Because I feel like doing 2 mystery games back to back would be a bit weird. But I have been in an Ace Attorney mood lately, because the Apollo Justice collection just released recently, and so my recommendations on YouTube have just been all Ace Attorney. And apparently someone's making a heckin' like Ace Attorney case creator that they're planning to release sometime like later this year. So I'm keeping an eye on that because I'm like, oh, I might want to do something. I might want to do something with that. I don't know. Because I've been in a very game dev mood lately. Thinking like, oh, I want to go back to working on Lost Legacy. Oh, I want to learn how to use Godot or whatever. Oh, I want to... And then last night I realized like, oh, I've got RPG Maker 2003. I haven't even booted it up. Oh, maybe I could do something with that. I kind of want to do a stream trying to learn that, like how I did with SRPG Studio. But who knows? Who knows? I've just been in a mood of wanting to make stuff like that. Been in a very creative, very maker mood, I guess. But who knows? The streams like that will come at some point, probably. Don't know when, but it'll happen at some point. Now, let's hurry up and see who's online while I keep fiddling with these plants. Oh, also, I might as well put it up here for people who are watching the VOD on YouTube, but don't follow me on Twitter. I have been working on making my own room out of Lego. So as you can see with this one, so this is the back view. There's me in the chair. As you can see, I'm sitting on the edge of it because otherwise my hair would clip into the back of the chair. Got the keyboard and mouse on the desk and my double monitors. I was gonna have them curving inwards, but then they'd clip into the back wall, so I guess not. There's my drawers. My drawers don't actually have a thing that sticks out, but having them stick in would be too difficult, so they just stick out now. And instead of having 5 drawers, I only have 2. The little mass, the little black mass in the corner there's my backpack, and the grey thing on the table is my work laptop. And then if I change this around to the back here, now you can see underneath the desk, there's my heater, and in the other corner, there's my actual, the actual computer, the tower or whatever. Then behind the monitors is my speakers, and then over on this side, there's a tissue box and my Switch dock. Please ignore the fact that the Switch itself is floating out of the dock. It didn't want to get placed down properly. And then of course in the back, we got the heckin' taco. The Takadachi bean cushion. The problem with the Takadachi is that while the leaf elements do make for good tentacles, it does make him very wide and hard to like push up against the wall. But yes. No, I don't want to move the image. So yeah. Fun times. I'm making things. I'm learning. Anyway. Before I ramble too much. So I know Miko's doing 24-hour stream. He is live at the moment. Okay, cool. Cool. I should have known he wouldn't be asleep. I know he's going to sleep at some point during the stream, probably, considering it's 24 hours, but he's not sleeping right now. Also, I know you're probably already over there, Theo, but oh well. Did I do that right? Yes. Raid messages are here. And yeah, that's just about it. Yeah. I was thinking like, is there something else I have to say? No. No, there's not. So we're gonna raid Miko. Miko's doing a 24-hour stream. Rai and Gore are currently there. Gore? No, Graham. Why did I call her Gore? It's been ages since she's been there. Rai and Graham are there. Okay, I get the... I don't have sound on right now. I get the awful feeling they're doing a Pokemon Smash or Pass, because I see Bulbasaur is on screen. Oh no. Thanks for watching. Hold on, do I have something I can use for this? I do. Let's use this. Since you can't see my model. Thanks for watching. Otsukame. Bye bye. NC.